2 million taxpayer dollars spent to make sure politicians do the right thing when it comes to campaign finance. The Texas Ethics Commission is supposed to promote confidence in government, but we met a man who claims taxpayers aren't getting their money's worth. 11 News reporter Lee McGuire asked him to prove it.
The resolution is adopted.
The rules say we're supposed to know exactly what every member of the Texas legislature buys with their campaign donations. But 2 years ago, it seems, nearly half of our elected officials were breaking those rules.
The motion is adopted.
Then, all of a sudden, nearly all that ended. Now, lawmakers appear to be following the campaign finance rules. And the reason has very little to do with the state agency set up as a $2 million a year guardian of legislative ethics. It has everything to do with one man with his home computer in Clear Lake.
I think the Ethics Commission is incompetent, completely incompetent. There is no other word to describe what they're doing right now.
That's John Cobarruvias, and he's something of an activist.
You should have basic consumer protection.
We first met him in 2002 when he was protesting the state's oversight of home builders. Now he's protesting the state's oversight of the legislature and wondering whether the Texas Ethics Commission does anything at all. He pulled campaign finance records and found that lawmakers spent about $1 million with their credit cards. But nowhere did they say what they bought with those cards.
Right. You don't know what he's bought at all.
It meant that tens of thousands of purchases that should have been disclosed were not. Did anyone at the Ethics Commission even notice?
Absolutely not. The Ethics Commission has been absolutely worthless.
Employees of the Ethics Commission don't do interviews, but we did get a hold of their chief counsel, who told us they do audit campaign finance reports. In fact, in the last fiscal year, the commission issued about $700,000 in penalties. We checked that out and found that of that $700,000 total, roughly $678,000 were penalties for filing late. In other words, it often didn't matter what was in the report as long as it was filed on time.
The system is very confusing and very complex.
State Senator Dan Patrick doesn't think the Ethics Commission needs more power. He would like them to do a better job explaining the rules to candidates and office holders. And he thinks it should not have taken a man in Clear Lake to uncover the $1 million credit card problem.
The Ethics Commission should have caught this. It's such a glaring problem to say, hey, you need to do it. This is not the way it should be done.
This is what we want to see.
Since Cobarruvias raised the issue, most lawmakers have now filed corrected reports explaining what they bought with those credit cards. Most of it was run-of-the-mill, things like bottled water, gasoline, and campaign signs.
And I think that's just absolutely great. I mean, that is what we're looking for.
But in some cases, he filed formal complaints with the Ethics Commission. And since then, the commission has fined 8 lawmakers over issues he's raised. To put that in perspective, the Ethics Commission has only fined 7 other lawmakers for any other issue in the last 5 years.
What do you think the Ethics Commission is good for?
They're a database, and they collect all this information, and that's about it.
It's a paper trail that uncovered a problem in government for both the people you elect and the ones you do not. In Clear Lake, Lee McGuire, 11 News.